Breaking news. Welcome to today's headlines. IPOB, Idols rejoice as Nnamdi Kanu has finally been released. IPOB, Idols rejoice as Nnamdi Kanu has finally been released. To my dear listeners, from wherever you're listening from, please stay tuned as I read today's news. The Court of Appeal in Abuja on Thursday dismissed the terrorism charges chosen by the federal government against the arrested leaders of the Aboriginals of Biafra, IPOB and Nnamdi Kanu. He was acquitted of 7 counts before a federal high court in Abuja. The Court of Appeal said in a judgment by a 3-member panel led by Supreme Court Justice Jumai and Natu that they were convinced the federal government had significantly breached the law when it forced Kanu to continue his trial in Kenya. It held that such exceptional declaration of the relevant law was a grave violation of all international conventions, protocols and guidelines signed by Nigeria and a violation of the petitioner's fundamental human right. The Court of Appeal noted that the federal government did not deny the allegation that the IPOB leader was in Kenya and that he was abducted and returned to Kenya without extradition proceedings. He ruled that the federal government had remained silent on the matter, explaining that it was important for the court to decide whether or not they had jurisdiction to prosecute their own criminal cases. A legal failure is a costly failure, and such a failure is an admission of guilt. The court ruled if the parties do not object to the adversary statement, the undisputed issue is deemed to have been admitted. The court also noted that Nigeria is a signatory to the OAC Treaty, which was ratified on April 28, 2022, and a human rights charter that describes how wanted persons can move from one country to another. It ruled that all extradition requests must be made in writing with a statement that the person is wanted. The Court of Appeal dismissed the federal government's entire case against Kanu, ruling it a general abuse of prosecution. The Court of Appeals held that even when the RPD charged the RPD with abuse of public power, the court does not hesitate to call the executive branch for disciplinary action when the court appealed to the negligence of the administration. However, the Court of Appeal said it would be disadvantaged if IPOB were banned, as the matter is still under appeal. The lower court's order remained in effect until reversed. Meanwhile, The revelations came after the appointment of the former chief of intelligence of the Nigerian Defense Staff, John Eneche, by the Labour Party LP presidential candidate Peter Obi. Eneche is accused of taking photos and videos of unarmed NSAS protesters during the October 2022 shooting at the Lekki toll gate. Obi released a list of his campaign teams with 1,234 names, including Eneche, who was appointed North Central representative. After the list was announced, several controversies arose. The inclusion of Eneche in the list added to the problem of the party's current impasse. This drew mixed reactions from supporters on social media platforms, especially Obi. His supporters claimed that NHS nomination was a blow to Obi's presidential ambition. The Court of Appeal in Abuja on Thursday dismissed the terrorism charges chosen by the federal government against the arrested leaders of the Aboriginals of Biafra, IPOB, and Nnamdi Kanu. He was acquitted of 7 counts before a federal high court in Abuja. The Court of Appeal said in a judgment by a 3-member panel led by Supreme Court Justice Jumai Anatu that they were convinced the federal government had significantly breached the law when it forced Kanu to continue his trial in Kenya. To my dear listeners, now I've come to the end of our today's news. Please do drop by at the comment section and let's know what your view is all about.